Boston Tea Party account by the Massachusetts Gazette. Boston Tea Party Historical Society. This account of the Boston Tea Party was printed in Massachusetts Gazette in Boston Weekly Newsletter on December 23, 1773. The following events preceded the account. After the arrival of the first tea ship, the Dartmouth, on the 27th of November, a series of mass meetings were held in Boston, which were attended by people from surrounding towns. These meetings insisted that the duties should not be paid and that the tea should be shipped back. Governor Hutchinson ordered such meetings to disperse, but they refused. Meanwhile, the Dartmouth entered at the customs house and was liable to seizure if the duties were not paid within 20 days. Taxes is another word for duties. The 20th day was Thursday, December 16th. On that morning, people began pouring into Boston by the hundreds to attend a mass meeting. The consignee of the tea on the Dartmouth was willing to return the cargo, but Governor Hutchinson refused a permit and ordered warships in the harbor to prevent the ship from sailing. His effort was courageous but futile. When the mass meeting heard the report, Samuel Adams arose and declared, "This meeting can do no more to save the country." What followed this is described in the newspaper report. Just before the dissolution of the meeting, a number of brave and resolute men, dressed in the Indian manner, approached near the door of the assembly, gave the war whoop, which rang through the houses and was answered by some in the galleries, but silence being commanded, and a peaceable deportment was again enjoyed till the dissolution. The men dressed as Indians, as they were then called, repaired to the wharf where the ships lay that had the tea on board. They were followed by hundreds of people to see the event of the transactions of those who made so grotesque an appearance. They, the men dressed as Indians, immediately repaired on board Captain Hall's ship, where they hoisted out chests of tea, and went upon dark stove and chests and emptied the tea overboard. Having cleared this ship, they proceeded to Captain Bruce and then to Captain Coffin's brig. They applied themselves so dexterously to the destruction of his commodity that in the space of 3 hours they broke up 342 chests, which was a whole number in those vessels, and discharged the contents onto the dock. When the tide rose, it floated the broken chest and the tea, insomuch that the surface of the water was filled therewith a considerable way from the south port of the town to the Dorshire neck, and lodged in the shores. There was the greatest care taken to prevent the tea from being prolonged by the populace. One or two being detected in endeavors to pocket a small quantity were stripped of their acquaintances and very roughly handled. It was a worthy of remark, and although a considerable quantity of goods were still remaining on board the vessels, no injuries was sustained. Such attention to private property was observed that a small padlock belonging to the captain of one of the ships being broke, another was procured and sent to him. The town was very quiet during the whole evening the night following. Those persons who were from the country returned with a merry heart, and the next day joy appeared in almost every countenance, some on occasion of destruction of tea, others on account of the quietness with which it was effected. One of the Monday's papers says that the matters and owners are well pleased that their ships are thus cleared.